everyone. Welcome back to the show. So the first thing you'll probably notice is I'm not dressed exactly what one would call normal. So we should probably talk about that. So there's other stuff. There's reasons for this video outside of why I'm dressed a little unusual today. So usually there's a thing where I have two hobbies. Those who watch the YouTube channel know that it's collecting comic books. But there's another hobby, and it's cosplay. Now, normally, there's the YouTube channel. It's about comic books. Instagram, I have an Instagram thing. I'm not going to even link it because I don't see my YouTube channel helping my Instagram out, and I don't see my Instagram helping my YouTube channel out. And frankly, it's not anything super important with me. But since there was a convention today, I decided I'm just going to wear what I wear in this video what I wore to the convention. And it just so happens to be fairly popular Darkwing Duck villain. There's a reason I dressed up like a Darkwing Duck villain as well. And we can go into that. So, the first thing I did when I made it into the convention, and it was actually pretty seamless. I think this time through the convention was pretty seamless. Everybody's trying, it's not ideal conditions for what we're doing. And then you have people dressed weirdly like me. But the first thing I did was I went to the Celebrity Alley, the celebrity portion. I went straight to the celebrity place, where all the celebrities were seated. That way I could tell, I could go straight there, get the autograph I needed, on the thing I needed, and then we could go from there. Now, the person I met in Celebrity Alley was Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings. If you're unfamiliar with the name, he voices a lot of Disney characters. He voices like Winnie the Pooh. I think he voices Tigger. He voices Darkwing Duck is the reason I went there. So, I went into line, got in line, and I already met Jim before. And this wasn't this year's, I can't say this enough, this wasn't this year's thing that I had Jim sign. I had him sign something else. But this was an appropriate thing, because it's obvious that when I think Jim Cummings, I actually think Darkwing Duck. It's my favorite thing he's ever done. And I like Darkwing Duck. So the first time I met Jim, and no, I wasn't dressed as one of his rogues when I met him the first time. I got this sign. It's a Darkwing Duck action figure. It's a Funko action figure. It just says, just his name, Jim Cummings, and I hang it on the wall. It's nice. Now, what I had him sign this time, and it's going to be a comic book, and people are going to say, well, you got him to sign it, so now it's not worth anything. You get it graded, it's going to get a green label. And it's not about the green label this time. I know I'm always trying to get those blue labels, but this one will never be sent to CGC because this one is just... I think I'm getting sentimental in my old age where I just kind of want to collect artifacts, get a picture of me in my costume, and just kind of frame it together with that. So we have a copy of Darkwing Duck #1, which features the titular Darkwing Duck, and it also features the character I'm cosplaying as right now. And it says to Sparky. Those who have watched the cartoon know that when Darkwing's trying to irritate Megavolt, he calls Megavolt Sparky. And it wasn't Jim's idea, it was actually mine to have him just put to Sparky on there. You know, just as kind of like a rib to the character I'm dressing as. So that's the thing. I'm just going to get it framed and put on a wall. It's not ever going to be graded. I never cared about getting it graded. Its sole purpose is to exist in my collection, just to be signed by Jim Cummings with a picture of me as Megavolt in the same frame. Alright, so I also wanted to go looking for keys, but you're probably thinking, okay, well, why didn't you dig through boxes and boxes? I kind of wanted, when I go looking for comic books in boxes, long boxes at this convention, I kind of want the costume I'm wearing to be fairly comfortable while I'm doing it, because I'm going to be sitting at long boxes for a good amount of time. And I like this costume. People like the costume. People at the con thought, oh yeah, this is an awesome costume. Some people didn't get the name. They're like, I know you're dressed as somebody who fights Darkwing Duck. We just don't know who. And that's okay. But I don't really want to dig through long boxes wearing these gloves. And the helmet kind of pinches my brain. So wearing this helmet for extended period. I like the costume. Nothing wrong with Megavolt, but the costume is not the most comfortable to wear. But that aside, I'm not going to be Megavolt tomorrow, so I'm going to dig through comic book long boxes tomorrow. I did get a comic, a good key comic. But I'll dig through more comic book boxes tomorrow, and we'll look at what I get tomorrow. I'll be in a much more comfortable costume. Don't worry about me wearing the costume right now. It's fine. I'll take it off right after this. But before I show you the key, I should probably talk to you about what me and Jim Cummings talked about the new Darkwing Duck reboot. We talked about the reboot. Probably should have rehashed old episodes, old times, because those are just awesome. I like Darkwing Duck. On my Mount Rushmore, Darkwing Duck is on my Mount Rushmore of cartoon ducks. Before any of you ask, like, Mount Rushmore of cartoon ducks, what does that mean? If you need to ask, you also need a Mount Rushmore of cartoon ducks. There's enough of them that you can actually have a Hall of Fame with all the cartoon ducks. And Darkwing Duck is on it. So, so me and Jim were talking about, and again, we could have talked about the old episodes, which are awesome. I think I ran into a guy where he's like, he wanted his kids to pose with me, and these kids could not have been old enough to watch Darkwing Duck when it was first aired, which means the dad was probably showing his kids these cartoons, and I'm like, dude, you're raising your kids right when you're raising them to appreciate the cartoons of that era. The after school block of the Disney cartoons, they are great. But anyway, so me and Jim were talking about Darkwing Duck, and I misspoke with Jim because I was under the impression the reboot was going to take place in the same universe and with the same voice actor for Darkwing that was established in the DuckTales universe. I'm not sure if that's true. I'm not sure if it's going to be related to DuckTales, but they're not going. According to Jim, he's not the guy who was the new Darkwing in DuckTales is not going to be the same Darkwing. Jim Cummings is coming back to voice Darkwing in the reboot, which will be awesome. I like the guy who did the new Darkwing Duck. He seems like a nice guy, seems cool. But, you know, Jim Cummings is the best possible Darkwing for any animated series. Oddly, I mentioned Negaduck, who is also voiced by Jim Cummings, because basically Negaduck is a negative universe evil version of Darkwing. So logically, he's also voiced by the same. And Jim Cummings didn't know if Negaduck was ever going to make an appearance. So I don't know if he's playing coy with me, if Negaduck is going to ever make an appearance, or... But apparently Jim is coming back to play Darkwing, which is awesome. I think they should try to reunite as much of the original cast as they possibly can. That said, you know, I was under the impression it was just going to be the new guy voicing Darkwing, and you know, when I brought that up, Jim's like, "Who did you talk to about this?" And I'm like, I just assumed, and I apologize for just assuming, because, again, Jim, I want to apologize if Jim watches this. I apologize. I was under the impression they were going to get the new guy, but again, Jim Cummings coming back to voice that character it makes me more excited for the show when it comes back. Again, I think they should get everyone back. The voice actors for all his villains, the voice actors for all his supporting cast, as many people as they can. Because I think that cast is awesome. There's some real talent there. But other than that, so, again, I didn't get a lot of keys. In fact, I only got one. Is it a good key? I don't know. I like it. I thought it was a good bargain. But this is the only key I grabbed. And I'll try to grab more the next day when I'm in a more comfortable costume. Ironically, all the costumes I'm going to be wearing will have gloves. So we'll see how that works. At least they won't be rubber gloves for the next 2 days. Alright. So the key I got, and maybe I'll send this off. I went to go collect. It doesn't have a lot of value with CGC, but that can change drastically depending on movies or what's up with this character. And I'm just showing like an edge of it, and maybe somebody already has figured it out. But we have Green Lantern number 48. This will be the first appearance of Kyle Rayner. He is one of the Green Lanterns. I think I have a Kyle Rayner action figure around here. I do. It's up here. Yeah, he's one of the Green Lanterns. He took over for Kyle Rayner after Kyle Rayner went crazy. Kyle Rayner took over for Hal Jordan after Hal Jordan went crazy that one time. Other than that, there is something else I did that will have ramifications for future videos. It probably won't become immediately obvious of what ramifications that what I did will have. It'll be down the road. It'll be interesting, and you'll probably want to stay tuned for that. But yeah, I put something in the works that's going to be exciting. Again, I hope you stay tuned. Other than that, I think that's about it. I think I'll do one video a day for the rest of this week. So, again, if you recognize me, and I doubt there's a lot of overlap, and in fact, I doubt I didn't check before I did this video, but I don't have anywhere near enough subscribers to make any degree of overlap between a random YouTuber and a random Instagram person. There's not a lot of overlap there, so I doubt anyone would recognize me. Oh, there's that guy that was at the convention. There he is. But if you do watch this video and you're like, oh, that's that guy I talked to. Thanks. Again, the people at the convention were great. I hope to see you again later. Maybe not as Megavolt for a while. This helmet is pinching my brain. Most of the time I even had my helmet off and I was carrying it under one arm. And that was fine. But I thought for the video I'll keep the helmet on. And again, also the helmet and most of the Megavolt suit. I worked on some of it, but it was a collaborative effort. It always is. Well, there's very rare occasions where I can actually make an outfit 100% by myself, so it's always nice because I have a good team of people helping me, and it's appreciated. The next video will be out about the same time as this one. Yeah, I'm gonna take off this helmet that's pinching my brain, but I hope you enjoy. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.